I'm Steph from Stitching with Steph, and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a stitch with me. It is our fairy stamped cross stitch canvas. It is unbranded. It is an 11 count. It is 80 by 52 centimeters, and it does consist of 42 colors. I do not have a link for this particular product as it's been in my stash for a long time, and I have not been able to find this image when I do a Google search. So if you're a subscriber, thank you again for coming back for my fairy week 2 stitch with me. If you're not a subscriber and you like this type of content, go ahead and click that subscribe button. If you like this particular canvas, go ahead and hit that like button for me. Lastly, I did create a Facebook group for our little YouTube community here. It is Stitching with Steph. I'll have that down in the description box below for us. So let's go ahead and dive into this stitch with me for week 2. All right, friends, as you can see, I have not done anything to this canvas since our new start. I'll be honest with you, it was in my whip bag, and I was like, la 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 la, forgot that it was in there. So we're going to continue on this green here. And as you can see, green is color 19, and it's DMC 796. It is this beautiful blue here. And we'll just go ahead and finish. I really like this canvas, but I'm trying to get my husband's birthday at least one, because I got him 2 canvases for the one piece stuff. If you haven't seen those Stitch With Me's or those reviews, they are on my channel. You can click on my playlist and look at them. One is a Chopper character and one is of the 3 brothers that are in one piece. So I'm really focused on the 3 brothers right now because I've had that one. You guys won't even believe. I've had that one in my stash since like 2001, and I didn't really want to work on it until I started like perfecting because it's full of confetti, to be honest with you, like this one is. I didn't really want to work on it until I perfected being able to do singular stitches. Because I didn't want to have to keep carrying over my thread because it makes it messy and bulky on the back. So my end goal is to have it finished and framed for him as a piece of art. So I've been diligently working on that that canvas for about a week now, to be honest. Sorry, this is my thread container. I have one in where I film, I have one at my like recliner chair, and then I have one on my nightstand. So I just got it from Daiso. So if you have a Daiso or a dollar store anywhere, go grab them. They're amazing. But so a lot of my Stitch With Me's are going to be mostly progress that we've made together. So that may consist of, sorry, I'm trying to make room for my canvas. It's going to consist, a lot more of my Stitch With Me's are going to consist of on-camera progress on the majority of them until I get at least one of those artworks done for my husband, because that's just my primary focus right now. So we kind of get to work on things together now. So if you have anything that's fairy related or not even fairy related, even if it's your current whip, go ahead and grab it and let's work together on our Stitch With Me's. I do several a week. I think I do. Let me check my filming log. Hold on. I do 6 Stitch With Me's a week, guys. So one is strictly focused on my large canvas. So that one is my koi canvas. And that project, honestly, is going to be a very long time for me to finish just because it's so big, and I really wanted to document my process with that. The other one is a day dedicated to any counted canvases. So I call it my counted canvas day. The rest of them is like monthly or seasonal and kind of like whatever I feel like working on camera with you guys. So I just pick stuff out and put it in my list, and I'm like, cool, this is what we're filming this week. um, you guys will probably see a lot of progress, like I said, on those one-piece canvases, though, because that's what I'm focusing on. I really need to get my red flower one done. I'm like, I'm so close to finishing it. I might as well. I might as well just get it done, to be honest, but I'm just really in the zone of wanting to get my husband's gifts done, to be honest. Because do you see what I did there, guys? Ay, ay, ay. See, everyone makes mistakes. If you don't see mistakes on Stitch with Me's, I'll be shocked. Because honestly, is it edited out? What's going on? Because I feel like all of us have done something that is just ridiculous. So, I need to pull it back through. So if you look here, what I did was it's kind of hard because it's blue on blue, but I brought it through this hole when I should have brought it over to that hole. So I was off by one square. Womp, womp, womp. It's okay. It's an easy fix. I just got to rethread my needle. Most of the time I do my rethreadings off camera, but today I kind of just don't feel like it. If I have to do a start or whatever and it takes me a while, then I will. So all I do is put it back in that hole and pull it back through to fix it. And this canvas is still stiff, guys, just because I haven't worked on it. I'd worked on it for our week 1 new start, and I literally put it away and forgot about it. But it's a really pretty image, as you can see on the introduction. Like, I think it's a very beautiful image. I wouldn't have started it or bought it if I didn't like it. But I feel like that's the going consensus of all my stash and things that I buy for reviews. Like, my husband was laughing at me because I bought some. Where is it from? From Fan Sale, I want to say. They're reviews that are coming, guys. I'll get to them when I get to them. But since I started my Counted Peony, I really actually enjoy Counted when I have time to be able to actually focus on it. Stamped, for me, is more convenient, but I actually enjoy Counted, surprisingly. So I went on a little hunt for kits, for Counted cross-stitch kits, because I like them pre-gridded. I don't like having to buy all the threads separately. I like being able to open and go. I'm that type of person. I did find a couple of Counted patterns that I want to get off at Etsy. And eventually when I download those, I'll show you guys. But I went on a little buying spree for a butt ton of Counted canvases. So if you guys are interested in Counted, those reviews are coming. I'm slowly but surely getting there. And I got a couple of cat ones, and my husband was just laughing hysterically because, like, he calls me a crazy cat lady. Because I always tell him, like, if you die before me, I'm just gonna be that crazy cat lady. Like, sir, I'm gonna have our cats, my garden, cross-stitching, and our kids when they're older. Like, I don't have the time nor the patience to entertain another person at this point. Like, I'm just way too busy of a person to, like, commit to another type of relationship. I'm like, I don't know. I've always been that way. Like, my dad was completely shocked when me and my husband got into a serious relationship. My dad's like, you have a boyfriend? I'm like, yeah. Like, my dad's sister, she was that way. She had a boyfriend, but they never lived together. They never got married, nothing, and she just loved her independency. So he was always like, "You remind me of your aunt." And I'm like, "Is that like a bad thing, sir? I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing." Also, guys, I'm filming several videos in a day, so in another one of my videos I kind of explained, I forgot to take my allergy medicine. So if I have to stop and blow my nose and all those things, or I get nasally, I'm sorry. And I'm telling you that because I think after I'm done doing this right here, I'm going to pause you because I'm sure you don't want to hear me blowing my nose. So 1 second, I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. So, long story short, I'll just kind of do a quick explanation in this video. I had a really, really bad migraine that came on quick last night. Like, I'm talking within 30 minutes. I was having sensitivity to sound and smell and light, and I was having nausea. So I had to take my migraine meds last night. And when my migraines are really severe and I take my migraine meds, it literally like puts me to sleep. So I had to take that last night, and normally I take my allergy meds before bed. Well, your girl did not do that at all. So I woke up this morning, I felt fine, but I opened up the windows because, let's be honest, it's that time of year. We all love opening up our windows to air the house out. It's nice and cool. And I'm like, hmm, I'm sneezing a lot. I got a really runny nose, and I couldn't figure out for the life of me, um, why. And then I was like, girl, you're ditzy. Like, you you do not take your allergy medicine. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Let's see this one. So I'm looking at it. It's like a half a square off. So I do one more here. There's one more square of green. So this is what I've learned. I was doing my big koi project. Sometimes if you look, you'll see stuff being like half off. So just because if you look here, you see it's this square is a half green, half yellow. So it needs to be a green one. So sometimes you just have to be mindful of the printing. I mean, the symbols are very clear, so luckily I'm able to see what's where. So, yeah. Like, see here. See how this square is below? So I know that this is yellow and this is yellow. So, I just know going up it's going to be half off all the way to the top. So, no big deal. If you're not paying attention, it can happen. And not every printed canvas is perfect, I'll be honest with you, but the image is still the same. It's just a little bit off, and you gotta pay attention of that half offage, right? So, all right. I'm gonna travel to up here. See, and then like as it progresses, it goes back to where it's supposed to be. So sometimes it's just because the fabric isn't pulled taut when they're printing. So no big deal. Anyways, so what I was saying was my allergies were acting up. So, I mean, I took my pill this morning, but I still have a low-key, a runny nose. So if I have to pause you guys for a minute here and there, just so I can blow, that's what I'm going to be doing, only because I don't want to do it on camera. I feel like it's a little unnecessary. What's today? Okay, I was trying to think of the date, and I just looked at my calendar and the day of the week. This week, my daughter has, because she is in AP art, she had a portfolio she was working on all year for school, and she has like sculptures. So she's in AP art ceramics. So she's been working on sculptures and stuff like that. So she has an art show this week. It's before I have to be at work. Luckily, I can go and look at her setup, and then I have to leave and head into work, and my husband's going to stay with the kids. So that's one of the nice things about working nights is like I can still attend and make an appearance for my kids. Um, in my schedule, I only make it 4 weeks out. Typically, I'm able to, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm able to schedule accordingly, but actually, I want to go this way. So that one, so see how I kind of have to pay attention to where I'm going. Okay, so this one is there, that one, and that one. Okay. I just had to see where I'm going. Um, yeah, not too bad. Like, I love working nights just for that purpose. I can always be present for my kids, which is nice. But I think all of us in the house are like nearing the end of the school year and we're all like shutting down mentally because that's how I feel. Like, my professor sent out a notice about what we're going to be discussing. We're going to be talking about environmental ethics the next 2 weeks, and then we have a quiz. But I think the majority of the class is shutting down, so he loads all the content on our like online platform, so you can like research it. And I'll be honest with you, if something isn't making sense to me, I'm gonna YouTube it or Google it or do some research so I can get a better understanding of it. So I don't just go off of what the lecture says. I do a little bit more research. I've always been that type of student, which is probably why I always get A's, but I'm like, the math is not mathing to me, so let me go ahead and do some research on it. Let's see. Also, since the end of the school year is coming, I don't know how many of you, for the majority of you guys, I probably feel like you're either my age or older because my analytics hasn't kicked in yet for my channel. What do you guys have planned for the summer? Any vacations? Anything fun? Anything? Anything? Uh-oh, guys, we got a knot. Dang it. We were doing so good, too. Because I was untwisting my thread. Oh, man. I feel like, see, and then I tend to do things like this off camera, too. If I can't get it within, like, 30 seconds, guys, I tend to pause you and then... Okay, I'm going to put you on pause, guys, because I'm not going to sit here and fight with this on camera. 1 second. Alright guys, I went ahead and had negative patience for it and I just snipped it, so I have 2 smaller pieces now. Like I said, there are days where I'm frugal before, and there are days where I'm like, your girl does not have the patience today for this. So that's the gloriousness about stitching, right? Like, there's no right way or wrong way to do it. Will you go through floss a little bit more if you continually did that? Oh yeah, for sure. But I normally do that when I'm kind of tired or I don't have the patience to sit and undo a knot. More often than not, pun intended, more often than not, I can get the knots out fairly quickly, but that one, I think it was doubled over and I was not going to undo it. Just snip it and move on. That's how I feel today. This corner's a little tight, so I'm just going to go over and then under. Also, have you guys noticed that there's no glitching in my films now? Off and on, sometimes when I do, like if I went like this part here would kind of glitch off and on. I figured it out, even though I had good lighting before, clearly, because my videos came out good, my camera has a green screen effect. So I think it was confusing all the little squares as part of my green screen. So I have some lights like to the side of me, like right here and like right here on the side, having light going this way, and then I have light going this way. So that way there's light 360 around my filming area, and it seems to be working pretty well. I mean, I love the clarity in the videos. The lighting is amazing. And I have filmed, this is now my second video, and I have not seen any glitching, so that's nice. Hopefully it stays that way. So I'm pretty certain it had something to do with my lighting. So I hope you guys are enjoying the clearer canvases, not necessarily in the sense of the symbols, because I feel like you guys have always been able to see these because my camera is pretty good. But my lighting, I felt like kind of drowned out the colors from time to time, depending on the time of day. So now, because of all the lighting setup I have, we won't have to worry about that because our lighting's good all the time. And I feel like a lot of us that do cross stitch channels, I feel like everybody stitches during the daytime and films during the daytime. And I'm like, again, I sleep during the daytime because I work. So even on my off days, my first day, I am sleeping. I'll be honest with you. I don't get up till like 1 in the afternoon. And then at that point, like I'm taking care of my kids. I'm cooking, like lunch and dinner. So most of the time, if I'm trying to get caught up on stitching, it is when the sun's going down. So I did grab my lights from my basement for my filming, like my cameras. I do e-commerce, so I take pictures of products and stuff like that. So on the side just for like some extra spending money. So my e-commerce business, aka business, and I use that loosely, funds my stitching. It gives me spending money for my stitching channel. So it's kind of nice. You see how I had to stop for a minute? Because remember, it's all like half off, so I had to make sure that I'm doing this right. So, for example, I'm going to travel my needle. Let's see. So I'm going to travel my needle to this box here, and I stitch this way all the time first, and then this way. So I just had to figure out where my stitching was for this box. There we go. And it's not very hard. The majority of them are on where they're supposed to be. It just seems like a couple of them are off, which is kind of weird if you ask me. So what's everybody else working on? If you want to send pictures or submit them in the Facebook group, if you go over there, all you have to do is ask me like, hey Steph, do you want to put this in your next week's Stitch with Me's or whatever. I can do like follower highlights for you guys. I do have an email in my description for you guys to submit those images to. If you just want to give any details about it, you're more than welcome to, like the pattern and or anything like that. You're more than welcome to. I'll do like highlights in my videos for you guys. Because, I mean, what's the point of having a channel if we can't share with each other, right? That's one thing I created my Facebook group and my channel on is, this is for everybody. Are there, I'm just going to say it, And if you don't like it, I apologize. I feel like there are some snobby people out there that act better than others. They're like, ugh, you're doing your stitches wrong. Ugh, why are you buying stamped cross-stitch kits? You know what, boo-boo? You do you. If it is not personally affecting you, there are so many other things in this world I feel like we should be worried about. Don't worry about me and what I'm doing. I'm not I'm just minding my business, enjoying my little craft, okay? And that's what I want everyone to understand that comes to my channel and my Facebook groups is this is for everybody. No matter what somebody else says, this craft is fun and it is for everybody. Um, my daughter stitches off and on, but most of the time she says, Mom, I just have a hard time staying focused and finishing a project. I was like, baby, because she has ADHD too. Our whole house does. I was like, baby, I know. I have like 15 in the works. Which is why I'm like, I'm making the commitment to myself. Like, I gave myself a goal, right? Like, that's how I work. I work under pressure very well. I'm like, I am going to finish my husband's gifts by the end of the year. I told him I might have one done for your birthday, but I can't promise anything, but I know for sure that I'll have them done by Christmas. So, guys, when I say your girl's been diligently working on those, I have been diligently working. Alrighty. So, looks like I am running out of thread, and we still have this one here. So, this week's videos, I think I'm going to make them closer to 40 minutes or so. A little bit longer. From the going consensus, everybody likes longer videos, so I will take it if that makes you happy. Don't do what I just did. So I'm going to fix this. I'm going to pause you. I'm going to thread this under and rethread our next needle, and then I'll come back and we'll keep our little conversation going. All right, guys, I just finished up that one little stitch we had there, and then I started it down here off camera, just so that way it's not a lot of like mundane stitching per se for you guys, because it takes me a while to do that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's really here or there. The season's changing, things are changing. But yeah, like I said, being committed. Oop, I messed up. Being committed to finishing cross stitch kits. Oopsies, I'm just over here on doing everything, huh? So for me, it's one of those things of I just want to make sure. Hold on, let me see. So there's that one. So this one's a little confusing. Hold on, guys. I gotta look at it real fast. So it's this one here. Okay, so it is here. It's just because this little green line's throwing me off. I had to take a look. Today's wrapping up of our laundry day. I am finishing bedding today. I got everything else done this week so far. I don't even know how that just happened. How often does everybody wash their bedding? I do mine once a week, especially since we have pets. Our pets aren't really allowed in our rooms, but sometimes they sneak in there and they get stuck in there. So, yeah, we tend to let the pets, they have their own room downstairs that gets cleaned, that gets vacuumed every day, sometimes twice a day. It gets wiped down and dusted once a week. And then our bedroom's bedding gets done once a week. So, yeah, I've noticed, I think my youngest may have allergies. I don't know if it's seasonal or not. But, I deep cleaned his room today. And, washed all his bedding and stuff for him. So that way when he gets home from school, I'll be able to tell if it's an allergy thing or not. I'll be able to see. Like I said, I dusted and did all the things. I keep forgetting that this one is partially off. Okay. Has anyone seen that TV show You on Netflix? I think we're on season God knows what. I don't know. I've watched all of them. But I started watching it this weekend and I'm like, okay, I like true crime and like stuff like that. So like seeing this show from his perspective where like he thinks he's doing good for the girl that he loves and then he ends up turning on her and ends up killing her. I'm like, that's kind of creepy. If you guys haven't watched it and you're into like those thriller type shows, definitely sneak that one into your playlist. They also have one, it's a series. It's called it's like Monsters or something like that. It started with like Jeffrey Dahmer and then the Menendez brothers, and then what's the next one? Ed Gein. And if you don't know who that is, guys, essentially, if you've seen Silence of the Lamb, where the guy like created like a costume out of body parts and lamps and stuff like that out of skin and stuff, if this isn't your thing, I'm sorry, fast forward. That's what Ed Gein is known for. So if you're into that kind of stuff, like where you just want to hear the stories and dig into the psyche of these people, definitely those kind of shows. It may make you a little bit paranoid, which it has had me. I'm like, as soon as I start like conversing with people, I'm like, is this a red flag? Oh, no, no, no. Okay. So like I pay a lot more attention to people's body language, the way that they speak, stuff like that, ever since starting to watch like true crime and stuff like that. Because I'm like, it's crazy how hindsight is always 2020, right? And then these people are like, well, we just thought that they were a little quirky or they were just a little weird. And I'm like, but the red flags were there. So now I'm like, before I started watching it, I'm like, was I that naive before? Like, did I not see the red flags in people? You know? I don't know. I just think it's funny. Okay. Oh, oh. Almost lost my tail there. So my rule of thumb is when I'm threading on the back side, as you can see, I'm getting stuck. I try to do it like, and then I'll flatten it out if it gets a little too snug. I try to do it under several threads so that way it does not come undone. Alrighty. Well, we finished that thread off, so I think we may be done. So give me a moment and I'll clean this all up. All right, friends, that concludes this week 2 Stitch With Me on our fairy canvas. If you stuck around till the end, thank you very much. I really appreciate you hanging out with me today. If you're a subscriber and you hung out to the end, again, as every week goes and every Stitch With Me, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate your guys' support and you coming and hanging out with me today. If you're not a subscriber and you liked this Stitch With Me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as I do several Stitch With Me's a week, as well as reviews, floss tubes, and things like that. If you want to follow me on social media, I do have an Instagram and TikTok. My handler is stitching_with_Steph. And again, I do have that Facebook group, Stitching with Steph, and the link's down in the description. Until next time, my friends, with our next Stitch With Me or review, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.